It's the biggest party of the summer, but it's got even bigger because we've just added an extra day to it. Yes, of course, it is WWE Summerslam 2025. Hello, welcome to BunkaMania Wrestling here on Twitch and on YouTube. I am, of course, the Dekker Dane, and I am joined by some different players for today's SummerSlam review. I am joined by the giraffe and me himself, Mr. Jeremy Graves, and the internet's own MattyBoo. Gentlemen, how are we doing today?
Jeremy?
I thought you were going to speak first, Matty. That's why I didn't say anything. I will simply respond by going, "What's up, player?"
How do, fellow kids?
Right.
Well, that was very unexpected.
And thus my role tonight is complete. Thank you very much.
Huzzah. And that was SummerSlam. Yes. But yes, we are here. We're talking all things WWE SummerSlam, and we're going to talk about the Raw Fallout as well as the potential road to Clash in Paris, which is only but just a few weeks away. But yes, and I'll just have a quick check. Anyone in the chat? Let's have a quick gander. There's Harriet as well. Harriet will be looking after, hopefully looking after modding in the Twitch chat today. Hello to Peter Sedorn, and hello to Stitch as well, and hello to everyone watching as well, whether you're live or whether you're catching up on VOD. So yes, it's quite hard to kind of figure out where to start. Well, it's not really that hard to figure out where to start with SummerSlam, because I think for all intents and purposes and usual in terms of streams, we talk about obviously how we feel about the show. I think there is a particular cloud over this particular show because of one particular thing. And I think, and we were talking about this before we came on air, and I think we should just rip the Band-Aid off and talk about it right now. So yes, let's deal with the matter at hand of Brock Lesnar returning to WWE at the closing moments of night 2. Cody Rhodes just became the new WWE champion. John Cena was taking a bow because he just suddenly became a face, which was, again, very weird in his own self, and we'll talk about that later. But lo and behold, those crazy guitar riffs play, and out comes a very bearded, very kind of long-haired Cowboy Brock to deliver an F5 and to stun a lot of people, I think. But obviously, the stunning part of it is more to do with the fact that he is currently still part of a lawsuit from Janelle Grant against Vince McMahon and WWE, where Lesnar is not part of the people being sued, but he is a named participant in the suit itself, so as a person of interest in the suit, relating to Vince McMahon's alleged sex trafficking allegations. So, yeah, not particularly a good look for a company to have, to bring back someone involved in a particular case like that on a big show, and like, it's just, everything is fine. It clearly isn't, because I think we all shared the same sentiment on Monday. It's a bit wrong. Would anyone like to jump in on this?
Just a bit. And I would say that on top of everything else, this is not even one of the more problematic things we've been viewing on WWE programming as of late. There's been a really weird vibe, which started with the Hulk Hogan tributes, with the showing of certain individuals, or a certain individual, as it were. We're not going to go too much into detail on that one, though you've already stated this is the guy who's currently under investigation. It's just been a weird vibe. Also, American politics, and I don't really want to get into that as well, but WWE, as of this past weekend, are very much intertwined with said American politics. So sadly, I was talking to Harriet about this off the back of night 2, and we were talking about this, and I said, sadly, I wasn't shocked. I really wasn't shocked.
Completely agree.
Yeah. I think that, I'm sorry, carry on.
No, I was like I said, the weird vibes, and I felt that there was a testing of the waters, as it were, of who they could show and who they could bring back. And the fact remains that this investigation is still going on, and the fact that as a company, TKO has allowed this to happen shows their standing in this, and I find this incredibly sketchy.
So, just to quickly sort of clarify a few things, it's obviously it's a legal lawsuit at the moment, not technical investigation, but obviously facts get investigated as it goes on. But the understanding from what I've read from reports and places like Fightful is that this deal was done apparently about 4 weeks ago. So for some reason, 4 weeks ago, WWE Legal cleared Brock Lesnar, which means to some extent something in this element of the lawsuit going on has possibly changed. We don't know what it is. We probably won't know for a little bit while longer. And yes, it's kind of that's how this sort of thing started. But then you get to the reports of who said what and who wanted Brock back. So we had this weird thing on the Sunday post show of, well, the next bit here as well is WWE aren't doing their press conferences anymore. Gee, wonder why. And so on the Sunday night, Trips is going, well, John Cena wanted Brock Lesnar to come back, so it's his final year. Why not? Fast forward 24 hours later to Raw, and Michael Cole says to camera that Nick Khan and Triple H call up Brock and say, Brock, it's time for you to come home. And then fast forward a little bit more, a recent YouTube interview with John Cena recently has just come out where John Cena's just gone, well, I'm just doing what they're telling me to do. If they're putting up opponents like Brock in front of me, I'm just going to do it. So it's very shady about who has made the decision to do what here.
The PR training is a bit lax on this, to say the least.
Absolutely.
That's how I'll sum that up.
I'm going to say this. It doesn't matter whose idea it was. TKO still signed off on it.
Yeah.
Simple as.
So if I right, hang on, I think I have to phrase this. In an attempt to add something which will emphasize how I am not surprised about this, and I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet so we don't get too negative on this, just for the early part of the show. But TKO / UFC, because they're all under the same freaking umbrella now, they've kind of got a history of people doing some bad stuff and still appearing or being affiliated. John Jones has done some stuff. Conor McGregor has done stuff. Heck, Dana freaking White was videoed slapping, I think it was his wife, excuse me if I got that incorrect, but either way, slapping a woman, and ultimately he is still the face of the company. So standards from that point of view, it's just, it doesn't surprise me. That's the long and short of it. And to draw another sports-related parallel, which sort of, I won't try and phrase how I was going to phrase that, but basically, there is a footballer who used to play for Arsenal Football Club. I can say used to now, thank God, who, as soon as their contract was expired, it was officially announced that they've been charged with sexual assault and rape. And the entire Arsenal fan base, we all knew this because it came out 3 years ago via a bunch of Twitter threads, but legally nothing can be said. And yet Arsenal Football Club let down the fans, and I'm saying that as a fan as well, by letting that player continue and being an integral part of the team. And heck, even trying to re-sign him to another contract, it's effing disgraceful. But not to, using that as a case in point, I don't understand how this has been allowed for Brock to come back. If legal have cleared him, then that means they are confident enough to where they don't feel this is going to be an issue. But the fact of the matter is, publicly, this is ridiculous, awful, and it makes you as a viewer feel really uncomfortable to want to engage or watch or listen or discuss the product. Heck, as an Arsenal season ticket holder that I share with my dad, I did not cheer for that player whenever his name was announced on a tannoy. If he scored a goal, it was awkward as hell celebrating that, I'll tell you that much. Like, there's a lot of... what's the phrase I want to use? It shouldn't feel hard to want to enjoy what you enjoy. And it's moments like these that do just make it really hard and cloud your judgment as to if you are doing the right thing by continuing to want to watch or support something. And I'm going to try and change the tone a bit because I appreciate I've got very dark now. But to look at it from a different perspective, in an attempt to kind of continue discussion, this isn't me just like casting a shadow over anything or pulling the curtain. But from a storyline perspective, as to why Brock would be back during the John Cena retirement tour, unfortunately, much as I don't want to see the match, it kind of makes sense. Because from a SummerSlam specific perspective, Brock Lesnar is involved in one of the most infamous, brutal beatings of John Cena when he suplexed him a bajillion times and mullered him in like 5-10 minutes. It's one of the most famous matches in SummerSlam history. And from that perspective, you can kind of understand why that Brock Lesnar could be a candidate of someone to face John Cena. But also at the same time, I'm sure there are far more useful things they could do with the new crop of talent that has been developing in WWE, that is either very well established in WWE, to help keep things going long term. And it kind of feels like, why have we gone back to Lesnar? Just why? Like, we've seen it so much. The Randy Orton thing, idea makes sense. The CM Punk thing makes sense in terms of like career highlights and such. The Cody story from the SummerSlam perspective makes sense. But Brock, realistically, aside from like the past battles and that infamous SummerSlam match, I don't really see much of a reason for Brock to want to come back and destroy Cena. In storyline specifically here.
As a knock-on effect from what we were talking about, how it makes you feel as a viewer, as a fan, Harriet has eloquently put it in the chat that for the first time in a while, she didn't really want to watch Raw after the end of SummerSlam. And to be absolutely honest with you guys, neither did I. I did power through it. I will say that way to shit all over Cody's second title reign, because it wasn't really brought up at all. It just went straight over to Brock Lesnar's return and the fallout from that. Not really that. There wasn't really much of the point of, oh, and Cody won the title. I'm sure they'll hold that off until SmackDown. But this is something you should really cover. Cody is now the figurehead yet again of your company. He is the WWE no longer undisputed, because that's now been officially dropped, champion. So what are we doing here?
I think with Cody, you probably will get an idea on Friday. The fact is, the Street Fighter filming is just about to begin, and Roman clearly has been written off TV to go off and do that. So I don't know what's happening with Cody. Cody might have a smaller role as Guile. You don't know about that, but I would imagine they would start putting down the piping for whoever the next opponent for Cody's going to be, because it's definitely not going to be Cena, and because he's going to be busy with Brock. So, oh god, it could be Solo.
If I can ask a question, actually, because not to sort of give all my thoughts on night 2 very, very quickly here, but
yes,
night 2 as a whole was a really great show, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
and
I agree with that.
That moment that Matty was mentioning of Cody just won, John Cena was taking in a moment. It almost, to me, that moment, when we got to that thing of Cena being in the ring, it felt like how I wanted to feel at the end of WrestleMania earlier this year. But it was the polar opposite, in that I didn't like how everything unfolded, and it made me basically not watch WWE since WrestleMania. Truth be told, folks, I kept up very casually, and I ended up watching SummerSlam just because it's one of the traditional big ones. But I thought, you know what? This is really freaking good. I've really enjoyed night 2. I enjoyed a lot of parts of night 1 as well. I'm interested in seeing where we go next. Then that music hit. And my reaction, I got legit goosebumps, because I just went, what? But it wasn't goosebumps in an excited way, in a I don't want to say not an angry way, but bear with me. It wasn't because I was excited. It wasn't because I was angry. It was just a WTF. What the heck? Like, what's going on here? Why is this happening? I basically my body reacted, shocked and stunned, but Jeremy was just like, what's going on? I don't know how to react. Like, I basically had no reaction, even though my body had a physical reaction, and it was a very surreal experience.
I was exactly the same. I stared at that screen dumbfounded for the entire time. I've got nothing more to add to what Jeremy's just said. I was exactly the same.
I think I was pretty much, what the F?
Hmm.
And then just kind of going, all right, this is weird. and I said it in our WhatsApp chat. I think it took away from a very good night of wrestling.
Completely
because
agree.
a lot on night 2 was really, really good to enjoy as well.
One element of positivity, Harriet again in the chat has said best Cena match in his retirement run so far, and I'm inclined to agree because he actually wrestled like John Cena and not a sloth.
Yes. And we will talk about that match in a little bit. But let's put the Brock stuff over there in the corner for now. And if we have to deal with it again in a couple of weeks, in the next stream or two, we'll have to deal with it then. But
stay in that cupboard.
Stay there. I mean, if I said that to him in real life, he would probably murder me. But anyway. Where am I going with this? So
night one?
Yeah, let's take away the Brock stuff. In all, how do you feel SummerSlam was as a whole?
Night 1 had a few good moments. Night 2 was a really, really great night. It was just a spectacular event, quite frankly. There was so much going on. I will say, after a while, it did occur to me what's the phrase I want to use? How almost street fight heavy the entire show felt.
Yeah.
As it were, by comparison. But I thought, in terms of it being a SummerSlam, this could have been 1 4-hour show. This didn't need to be 2 nights.
But
I think there are definitely some things that they could have been cut out, as it were, or trimmed down. But as a whole, I enjoyed it. Speaking as someone who's not watched WWE since WrestleMania, I love the fact Travis Scott wasn't involved either. I was very happy about that. I enjoyed myself overall. And sans what we talked about, how the show ultimately ended, in terms of the actual in-ring action and that stuff, really, really good fun overall. Night 2 by far being the better night.
Agreed. Unfortunately, Jeremy, I've got a funny feeling that 2 night big 4, big 5 shows are the way to go now, considering what we're going to be doing in the next couple of years. But it is what it is. If they can get the pacing right, like really get it right, they should be fine. But do we really need a 3-hour pre-show for both nights? Hell no.
I mean, to be fair, it would be useful if they could actually. I heard this fact afterwards. Sorry, I heard this after the fact, I should say. Night 1 had 90 minutes of wrestling across a 3-hour show, which it's weird because, truth be told, folks, and full disclosure, we were actually watching this on like a Discord call together via like our own Netflix subscriptions, and that night flew by. But I know in the past, when I've reviewed WWE shows, I've gone, "Why is this so slow?" Like there's so much downtime, but because we were having a good time, I didn't actually notice it. But watching night 2, I noticed it far more.
I think there's definitely 1 or 2 matches on night 1 where we were watching together that I think just watching it with you guys sped that up, because I think there's definitely 1 or 2 that I was kind of going, okay, we'll go through, we'll get through this match. We'll get through this match. We'll get there.
2 words, jelly roll, and that's all I'm saying for now.
We'll get to jelly roll.
There are various definitions of the word roll. Just quickly in the chat, Peter Sedon, hello, as always. Solid show overall. And yes, as also next year's SummerSlam in Minneapolis, I believe, is 2 nights as well again.
It's McAfee Town, right?
It is, but not in the stadium they did Royal Rumble in. I think it's somewhere else next year.
To add what Peter Sedon's just said, that year's SummerSlam was announced as a 2-night event before this one was. Because they announced the location and tickets for 2026 before we were even talking about this year's.
Yeah. So next year you've got Royal Rumble 2 nights in Saudi, which is good start time for us, you know. Oh yeah.
That's the only good thing I've got to say about it.
Rumble.
I made a suggestion that we go watch it in person till Jeremy pointed out it's 2 nights, and I'm like, oh shit.
I genuinely thought for a second, Matty, you meant going to Saudi. I won't lie.
No. Hell no.
Oh, but before I forget, actually, there is one thing about SummerSlam in general I want to make note of now, so I just don't forget, if that's all right.
Okay.
from a production point of view, and I know like you guys were telling me that during the week because of all the this is to sort of make a point here. From a building the arena point of view or the stadium, I know that because of the bad weather, you guys had mentioned that like a bunch of the production and maybe had been scrapped or was not as much. I thought the staging still worked very well. The thing that kept irking me throughout both nights in hindsight, and it was really during night 2 where I noticed this specifically, how they did replays of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially during the main event of night 2, there would be a big moment, and within 5 seconds there was a replay. And I'm like, I want to see reactions. I want to feel that moment and take it in. And for some reason, it just felt so alien how they just kept cutting quickly to long replays, and not even like a double feature style one with like the live box in the top corner. It was just it's a little thing, but production wise, in terms of television broadcast, this felt a little bit sloppy from a WWE point of view. There was some odd things going on, odd camera angles. We got a camera angle for 5 seconds of just a wall at one point, which was quite amusing.
And what a wall!
Right?
We had the point of view of a cameraman falling in the ring at one point,
which is very amusing.
That really triggered Jeremy.
But yeah, I just wanted to note that now because it was a very weird, from again my perspective of not watching WWE for a while. I don't know if that's now a regular thing that they do replays like that, but it made it feel very disjointed in places, despite the fact I enjoyed the show overall.
I will add to that, Jeremy, and I was thinking about this prior to the announcement that they stopped doing the press conferences. Last year, and I think a bit of the year before that, you had this big fight feel where you had to watch the pre-show for all the packages that led up to the main event. And it literally did bleed into the main show. Then you had the post-show, which bled directly in from the main show itself. So it all felt like a nice, neat package. Like it was like a literal event viewing. And I don't get that vibe anymore with these shows.
You don't get the extended trilogy of Lord of the Rings vibe, is what I'm hearing, Matty.
No, like literally, it is like you can now happily skip like the 3-hour-long pre-show because it is just the same packages over and over and over again. And it is just a bunch of talking heads and interviews for the post-show now. Some of the special has come out of it a bit.
I think it's disjointedness of going to YouTube, then to Netflix, then to YouTube definitely plays into that a little bit. Because when on the network, you start watching the pre-show, it flows into the main card, and it flows out. So you get that whole sort of like big sports all-day feel to it. Whereas obviously you're kind of watching on one monitor, go to Netflix, go back. It doesn't really kind of gel anymore. So
it's the equivalent in the UK of switching from Sky Sports to TNT to BBC just to be able to watch your football.
Just put them on all screens. Put them on screens. So just go, oh yeah, I can watch the match of the day and I can watch the championship on ITV.
Exactly.
Sports references. There we go. Anyway, let's get into the card. Night 1 kicked off. Well, first it did kind of kick off with Cardi B coming down to the ring for one night as the official host of SummerSlam.
Reading her teleprompter like a pro.
And happy to be there. And then we go straight into the opening big brawl between Roman Reigns, Jey Uso against the Braun Breaker, and the tribal thief himself, Bronson Reed, who has stolen the shoes off Reigns. Given to him on Raw this past week, but yes, it's now stolen 2 pairs of Roman Reigns' shoes.
Now, I would like to point out as well that you say we went straight into the first match. There was 20 minutes of entrances before we actually got to the first match.
I mean, I thought they weren't going to do Jey Uso go and play my music one more time, but no, they waited to the actual match to do that, much to my annoyance.
You can thank Roman. Roman has initiated it.
I will say it was very good fun seeing Roman and Jey as a tag team like that. And again, with it being as long as I've seen, again, not watched things since WrestleMania, in a weird way, I felt like I could pick up things on this show pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Where the standings are and how things had changed. And that's one good thing. That said, there were some big gaps like the Cena face turn. I still don't know how it happened, but we'll get to that later. But yeah, it was just really fun seeing them as a tag team, and Bronson and Braun as a tag team as well. It's so good. I love the dynamic of these 2 behemoths. One literally has a tsunami in his finishing name. One is a hulking beast. One is a speeding beast. It's great. I love it.
Oh yes, I mean, Braun in particular, Braun Breaker, for example, is just like he is a very rabid dog per se. Because there's the bit towards halfway near the end match where he's pulled down his straps, but he pulls them back up just to pull them back down again, just to prove how big of a monster he is per se.
He's just trying to make an animated GIF for people. That's all he was doing.
To quote Michael Cole, "Vintage Steiner."
I did have a good laugh when Braun started doing the Steiner push-ups after a pinfall. I won't lie. I had a good little chuckle at that.
But yeah, other big moments. Roman Reigns did a big dive out the ring and almost went way over.
I describe it as, remember Undertaker at WrestleMania 25 when he kind of went a bit more vertical and the cameraman was like, "Oh, how do I catch him?" And Undertaker landed on his bing, as it were. Roman just missed them completely. He just went over. He flew. He channeled like, I don't know, whatever superhero he's going to be next in a film.
Oh, I can answer that. Fire me, boy!
The human bullet.
That said, though, there were a lot of like dives that seemed to overshoot in this match as a whole. Just people sort of just like clearing. It's like people were either really up for it or those ropes were really springy.
I thought they were just getting into like full meat on meat matching, big meaty men hitting meat. Oh. Well, other than probably Jay, I suppose. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going with that. No, lots of heavy moves, lots of spears, lots of carnage, but big storyline moment: Reigns taking the spear from Braun Breaker to save Jay.
What is it about the spear being everybody's finisher now?
Because it's cool.
In all of wrestling, everyone seems to have a spear as their finisher.
Because Goldberg made it cool, Jeremy.
I was there I nearly said the 80s or the 90s.
I was there
in the 90s. It was a fun moment as well because it helped solidify Jay's status, I think, that Roman did take the bullet for him. And it added to that element of them being together in this battle.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it was quite good that Jay got the pin overall in the end as well, pinning Bronson Reed on that one. So it was a fun opener, excellent opener. In terms of storyline progression, we'll get on to that a bit later on when we talk about one Seth Rollins in a little bit. But we move from one tag team into another tag team match where it was the Judgment Day of Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending the World Tag Championships against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair. They're not friends. Honest. That's what we need to know and understand. They're not friends, but sometimes friendship can be magic.
Now, I feel the need to regale a story from our watch-along, which people need to be aware of, and they can go back and watch this. Because there is a moment where I think I broke everyone on the call. Because you have like Raquel and Roxanne are walking down to the ring, and they have like the graphic that comes up at the side of the screen talking about their stats. But at the very top, like it says like their name, their accomplishments underneath. But above their name, it said Papa John's. And I just genuinely thought, is that their tag team name? Is that what they're called? And then I realized, oh no, that's a sponsor. Sorry. So there was a moment where everyone just howled with laughter because I genuinely thought that they were Team Papa John's, and that is how I shall be referring to them henceforth.
No longer the Judgment Day. They're just the Papa John's.
There you go. But yeah, do you know what? This match, it was perfectly fine. I actually said it on our call. I'm really happy to see that Roxanne Perez has got a good. Just got something good going with Raquel, given the injury to Liv, and is really taking that ball and running with it. And fun match overall. And the big moment of it was that Alexa accidentally hit Charlotte. And there was that thought of, is Charlotte going to kick her in the back of the head in return? And no, she didn't.
I will say, I love Roxanne Perez, but I brought this up in our little watch-along. Having the graphic with her and Raquel looked like a really disappointed, bemused mother. So it looked like a bit like Bring Your Child to Work Day. No, I really enjoyed this match. I really enjoyed the other match, the opening match as well. I think that was a strong opener. But this ladies' match was everything I wanted in a women's tag match. I will say this again. Raquel Rodriguez, please strap a rocket to her because she's actually quite an incredible talent. And I'm really liking the vibe between Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. For the first time in a long while, Charlotte's likable. Holy
Absolutely.
shit!
There is something quite entertaining about there. Are we friends? We're not really friends, but we're just acquaintances. It's just a beneficial relationship that we're just winning matches and winning titles per se. And I liked particularly in the tag match. I like the fact that you had the accidental punch from Bliss onto Charlotte, and then the camera work makes it seem so set up that Charlotte is about to destroy Alexa for that mistake, but then ultimately delivers the big boot to Raquel and achieves the win. Alexa gets the win with her sister Abigail on Perez. But no, I think ultimately good match. I think the right result. I think the fans have been really getting behind Bliss and Flair as a fun double act. Or we'll see how it goes. I mean, on Raw they had a rematch, which again they won. So I think Judgment Day might be slightly off to the side now when it comes to the women's tag team belts. Kabuki Warriors is still about at Raw, eager to take those belts as well. So maybe we'll have a little bit of a program with them in the next coming weeks. Cool. We shall now move over to the latest chapter and possible final chapter of Sami Zayn and Karrion Kross. They met at Night of Champions. Sami Zayn got the win. On a night of Raw, Kross got the win, and we're back here for the rubber match per se. And basically, just making it Kross eager to say Sami was lying all along. Who wants to go on this one first?
Well, this was a nice repeat of what we already saw at Night Champions, wasn't it? Also, I think that might have been Karrion Kross's last match in the WWE because he was not used in Raw. He's persona non grata, and his contract, as well as Scarlett's, is literally up this weekend. So, and apparently it still hasn't been renewed. Unless, hey, in light of other things that have been going on, we have been worked. We don't know. But it's like, what a talent to waste if that's happening, you know?
So the report from Fightful on this is basically someone has said that, yes, their contract is coming to an end this weekend. But the talent has not been, they don't believe the talent's been informed that their contract's not being renewed.
Which
so
is
usually
stupid.
Which is either something's happening or nothing's happening. But Karrion Kross is about to go off on his book tour. He's doing a lot of book tour stuff now because his book is now finally out. And this book I do want to get and read, or get the audiobook and listen.
Is it called Crossroads?
No. Sadly not. Sadly not. It does have him looking very clean and dapper in a nice white shirt and blue chinos, kind of looking to the future, like standing on a beach or something like that. Quite nice. But again, but the fact of the matter is that definitely over the last year, Kross has made himself such an interesting character, an interesting presence. And it's just like, if he does leave, or he does end up leaving WWE, it fumble, because it's like there is clearly something on the table here to work as for storyline progression. I think that it's the little touches in his feuds against Sami, against AJ, where it's things like how the hairstyle is to try and get their attention down or get their guard down and stuff like that. It's like there are so many little bits and pieces of Kross that have worked so well in, like, watching from a viewer perspective. It's just frustrating that hasn't translated into something in the ring that has been rewarding or fulfilling.
Yeah. And all of his promo work as of late has all been hidden in the Netflix adverts, which are then snipped off for anyone who dares watch the VOD, which is an absolute waste. Again, you know, I think they do go back to some of these adverts for the promo packages. Like, we do go back to it in places. But for the most part, the backstage interviews that they put in while you wait for the adverts to finish are usually non-canon. So it's just, it bemuses me. It blows my mind. Also, while we're talking about people that may be gone from the company or back, where the fudge is R-Truth since he got brought back?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Got a comment from Peter here. The problem is, as great as all the outside stuff Cross does, the bell rings and it doesn't translate.
Gonna be honest, that's kind of how I felt watching it. And admittedly, that's coming into like the end of a feud, as you folks were talking about. But it, like the as usual, the entrance is cool. You know, the thing. It's really, really cool. But yeah, Cross is cool. Like I remember his NXT run where he was just dominated for forever, and then he came up to the main roster during that run, and it all went flip flop. But yeah, it just never really clicked with me. Like, it's not to say that they're not great. It's just there are some people that just don't click with me. This is one of those examples.
In a bigger extent as well, even from Karrion Kross, Scarlett Bordeaux herself, because she is a wrestler. She wrestled in TNA. We've never seen her wrestle in a WWE ring. She is a talented singer. We've heard her song. Her singing is in Karrion Kross's entrance music. She isn't just miming it. She legit sung it. You know, it's like, as much as we're talking about Karrion Kross, don't sleep on Scarlett either. Okay. You know, it's ridiculous.
I think in terms of the in-ring stuff, for Kross in particular, I think during his NXT run, yes, he was dominant, but he wasn't as engaging as a character there. I think in this latest run, I think the problem has been Kross has never been set up to look like the monster that he's clearly wants to become, or basically hiding behind the sort of the smile and the charisma. But obviously you get on the wrong side of him, he'll absolutely destroy you. And the fact is, there just haven't been enough times in the recent run, especially in the last couple of months per se, that Kross has had the opportunity to be that character. You've got little bits of it throughout the Zayn feud, because we had the bit where he constantly just smacked Zayn in the ribs with a steel pipe half the time. And that becomes a bit of a crux in this story, in this match as well. But the fact is, you have these little moments, but when it comes to a match, you don't give Kross the decisive victory where he can just absolutely obliterate someone around the ring and then just wins. There's always a bit of, there's a chink in the armor. He always just falls at the last hurdle. Or with the AJ Styles one in particular, he seemingly lets AJ beat him, because there's the weird thing when he did the phenomenal forearm that Kross just puts his arms behind his back and kind of welcomes it as like a great martyr that he believes he is. So I think it's not necessarily the talent of Kross in the ring. I think it's just the producing and the booking just hasn't let him be that evil monster or that devil.
I will add a layer to this, saying if anybody hasn't seen his work outside of WWE, go check out Lucha Underground, where he was the White Rabbit, and you will see some character work there.
I think that's all free on YouTube now as well, if I remember correctly, or at least a huge
Lucha Underground. I believe so. I need to double check that. But yeah, I mean, if you want some really, really good matches, especially intergender matches, basically against Penta and Chelsea Green, Kairi Sane, all that stuff, Lucha Underground, go check it out. It's such a weird cosmos of a storyline, but it's fun. It's so fun.
Moving on, we go on to the WWE Women's Championship match between Tiffany Stratton defending against Queen of the Ring, Jade Cargill. And I think a lot of people had Cargill as a potential winner here, and then it didn't happen.
Lead balloon.
Yes. Here's the question. So the first question is, do you think WWE are not necessarily focusing a lot on Jade now because of this defeat?
Reports have started coming in that they just don't see Jade Cargill as a top level player, which I think is ridiculous. They are starting to see Rhea as their top tier women's division lady, which yes, she is. But what would happen if she is taken out again, like she was injured last year? You need people to step up. I think Jade, we defended her in the last review. I think in short bursts, Jade is incredible. And she showed some like absolute moves in this match. I think it's absolutely strange. Unless there's been some backstage shenanigans where like maybe her behavior has gone against her or something like that. I don't know. I don't want to speculate. It's just weird that this is coming out. You know, absolutely weird. But I can't, unless this is circumnavigating towards a feud between her and Bianca. I don't know what they're going to do with both her and Tiffany now. I just don't.
Yeah, I think because I've seen Cargill in AEW and I've watched a lot of her in WWE. I think she has improved a hell of a lot during her time in WWE, and it's like she fits in quite nicely there in terms of what she does in the ring. So it feels, considering they've really built and they focused on her winning Queen of the Ring, and they made a really big deal about her winning Queen of the Ring, for her to just suddenly fall like that in about, I think it was about 7, 8, 9 minutes of a match, doesn't really support the booking that they've been doing, unless there is another story on the horizon for her to take her back towards a title shot. You never know what happens this weekend on SmackDown, but it seems very weird.
She hasn't made it in the chat. She hasn't posted in the chat, but she did say this to us a couple of days ago. Stitcher, my beloved wife, she said she sees Jade more as a chaser in any feud than she does a champion right now. And although I don't necessarily fully agree with that, she might have a point as well, because once you give Jade the belt, unless again it's against Bianca, because that's where all the directions are heading, what are you going to do with her?
I was going to say, this will lead into my point I was going to make, but the only obvious thing is going on an undefeated streak like an AEW. Because it would be a way to build someone in one regard. But so I'm giving honest, I've really not thought about this match since the show. I actually forgot it was on the card until you mentioned it, and I'll be completely honest. But I think I'm a massive fan of Jade. Like, going back to the AEW stuff, I thought her presentation was great. You could see her getting better gradually. And then when it came to WWE, I was actually gutted she was gone from AEW, because I thought they were going to do something again with Statlander and Jade. And there was like something there. And then suddenly they just had the match. She was gone. Then she comes to WWE. She looks like $1 million in the Rumble. Forms a really good tag team. We're getting a really good presentation of Jade. And this is the first time I've really seen Jade do anything from a singles point of view. Sans Elimination Chamber, where she utterly mullered Naomi before the match even began. And I was actually annoyed because I wanted to see a match, funnily enough. But yeah, I don't... There isn't an easy way to put this. It's the most... Jade looked like the Jade of a few years ago to me. She came out, looked like $1 million, but in that match, I wasn't... In hindsight, I wasn't surprised she lost, based on what I saw. It didn't feel like there was... It just didn't feel like she was going to win. Heck, I remember I actually said it in our call now. I literally said, is her daughter at ringside? If not, she's losing. And funnily enough, she wasn't at ringside as far as I can tell, so she lost. So that's why I didn't have her superpower there, her reverse kryptonite, if you will. But yeah, just I wasn't enamored with this match as a whole. Like, Tiffany Stratton, has Tiffany's character evolved at all? I'm not trying to have a go. I'm not trying to have a go at Tiffany just for the sake of it, but it's just... I don't feel like either of them have really evolved since I last watched them.
I was actually going to bring this up because Peter Sidden said in the chat to turn Tiffany heel because she is also dying as a face right now. I'll be 100% honest with you. I didn't know she was a babyface still. Like, legit, because she works like a heel regardless. And she acts like a heel regardless. So I legit forgot she was supposed to be babyface. That's legit what happened since the last time you watched. She had a slight sort of like on the verge of babyface side to her, especially like around the feud with Charlotte, because clearly the Charlotte experiment wasn't working when they brought it back for Royal Rumble. But when you've got such silly things like Tiffany like shooing like Trish away in a tag match, even though they were both working face, like she was a little bit of garbage behind her heels, because that's what Tiffany behaves like in the ring. I honestly forget. So thank you, Peter, for reminding me what side of the spectrum Tiffany's currently feeling at.
Having heard that and heard what you said, Matty, this almost just feels like this is a case of just people being miscast in their role.
Absolutely.
If it was the other way around, it may have worked far better. But in this, it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
I will say on that note, Jade in the WWE is a perennial babyface. I don't see her as a heel. And I thought she was a fantastic heel in AEW. So a character doesn't technically generate that for WWE. I think she should be a top tier level, like final boss or end of level boss.
But things take time, Matty.
Yeah,
like, things take time. And it made. I mean, look, I'm talking complete like hypothesis here. If those reports are true, maybe it's just WWE's point of view of, well, maybe they just don't feel like they've seen enough quote unquote improvement. Because we don't know how often there's training going on at the performance. Like, we're not there. So I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt here, but it could be anything. It may just literally be, for whatever reason, things just aren't clicking, and maybe a change of role or just a change of inner workings could do one or both of them a load of good. Who knows? I'm literally just hypothesizing here, like we all do to a degree, because you want to see them both do well. But this just was a bit of a dud, quite frankly.
Yep, that's fair to say. We'll obviously see what happens for both on SmackDown this Friday. Moving on to penultimate match of night one, I must say, was the strange yet oddly fascinating to watch, probably for the discussion of so many different roles you can get in dessert.
Match of the night.
But match of night one, to be perfectly honest. Jelly Roll and Randy Orton versus Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre. This match is weird, but why was it so fun to watch?
I'm such a child. That's why, Dane. I'm such a child. For full disclosure, by this point, we were all just a little bit nutty and we wanted to entertain ourselves. So I started the thing of naming Jelly Roll anything other than the name Jelly Roll. And this kept up for the entire match and everyone joined in. That's why it was balmy for us.
But truth be told, and I think they actually said this on commentary as well, but like Jelly Roll lost a ton of weight training for this match. Like apparently it's now first time, I think, what was the stat they were saying? It's the first time he's been below 300 pounds in weight since he was in the 6th grade, which I want to say is year 5 in British schooling, as it were, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there you go, Peter. Thank you. Lost 190 pounds. I just saw that appear in the chat. Yeah, like he's lost a ton of weight. And do you know what? Jelly Roll was awesome in the ring. Just as a person, a character, doing what he could. And from a match point of view, it made total sense that Logan and Drew effectively took him out because he's not a wrestler. And ultimately, him taking the pinfall, I expected it because why would Jelly Roll get the win? Yeah. Logically speaking, it doesn't make sense.
And I was going to say, and Harriet has again said in the chat, in his first day of training, he broke his finger and carried on the training. Like Stax, it came to light that NXT superstar Stax was one of the people who trained him, and he absolutely defended him because some people will like sack it off on the first day of training, maybe the first week, and Jelly Roll just persevered. So yeah, again, it's one of these guys that just gets it.
So it's like Jelly Roll joins with Bad Bunny as celebrities or musicians that have come into WWE. But they are so respectful of the art of wrestling and that they are prepared to put the effort in and prepared to put the work in, and it showed in the match. I mean, it's like he equated himself very well in the ring, to be perfectly honest. Yeah. And then complete contrast, the whole kind of let's put all our eggs in the Travis Scott basket, and that just foundered and collapsed and just ended.
It was a cheap wicker basket from AliExpress. That's what it was.
It's like we said in the WWE Unreal review, which you can watch on the YouTube channel. Travis Scott appeared, and that was the last anyone saw of him in WWE.
Like a puff of smoke, you might say.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But yeah, the thing about Jelly Roll as well in this match, and we'll get onto the other elements of the match, I'm sure, but like we've all said, he really clearly cared. But also, in the context of what he did in the match, he did it really freaking well. No one tried to make him do, I don't know, a shooting star press, hypothetical. You know, there wasn't anything overtly difficult, one might say. I've done a bit of wrestling training, so I can speak to this to a point. But it was, what he did was executed very well. Heck, I'm sure that'll come up in a moment or two. That table bump he took... You know, who not many people would be willing to take that. And he did, and his selling was great. Just Jelly Roll is a treasure and needs to come back and do more stuff in WWE because I thoroughly enjoyed his involvement here.
Yeah. I hate to do this, guys. I actually feel visibly sick doing this, but we also need to give Logan Paul his flowers.
It's like I said in the chat, Matty, I cannot stand Logan Paul, but damn it, I hate the fact he's such a good wrestler.
Because if we're going to talk about celebrities that have put the grind in and it shows, Logan Paul as well, unfortunately, the guy's a problematic sack of shit. I'm sorry, personal opinion. But he's so damn good. And I hate
it's annoying how good he is. But also at this point, I will say, the reason I didn't mention him in the context of celebrities is because I actually just regard him as a roster member at this point.
Yeah.
He's proven it time and again. So it's almost like, you're one of them. You're a roster member. You may not be there full time, but yes, you definitely have got the chops for it. And yeah, Logan was fantastic in the match as well. Just everyone played their part so damn well. And to give you a chance to say something, Ian, because I appreciate we've both done the talking here, this is why, in my opinion, it was match of the night, because it was just such a fun match.
Yes. Absolute fun, and I think the spot absolutely is Logan Paul donning some sunglasses, which turned out to be camera glasses.
Of course they were.
Grabbing all the prime that he can do a massive prime champagne smash, and then go flying through the air to do an almighty frog splash.
So,
Jelly Roll.
Also, hydration station update, because we need a crucial update of the status of the hydration station. Every single review. It was used. Drink was consumed from it, and then put down Logan Paul's trunks. And ew.
I don't remember when this happened. Did anyone notice Wade Barrett during one of the matches pushing the hydration station out the way?
Yes,
like the trolley. I don't remember when it was, but it was so funny.
Because much like me, Jeremy, Wade Barrett respects the hydration station. And
no, Wade Barrett respects sponsorship deals. That's what he does.
It's like, Michael, I've got to protect the prime. It's the special magic flavor. It's the SummerSlam flavor. We're going to hide it over here. We can't let the wrestlers destroy it.
And also, I appreciate we've really not mentioned Drew and Randy Orton at all. Drew McIntyre, I should say, and Randy Orton. Both just great in their roles. But when Randy got the freaking when he got the big tag to go in from Jelly Roll, holy heck, did that stadium erupt? Because they had to wait 10 plus minutes to see Randy Orton do anything other than stand on the ring apron. It was so good.
Redo the entrance music with Jelly Roll, because he's very good at singing it.
I think Randy Orton might be pushing for that to happen. I've been really, to do voices, because I think that might be quite good fun to have a nice little. I love voices. Voices is an amazing track, but maybe it just needs a little bit of a pep in its step.
Could it have a beat? That's all I ask for.
What type of beat?
Jungle beat.
Hang on, give me a second.
Oh god, he's getting the bongos, isn't he? But yeah, honestly, Jelly Roll doing a cover of voices could be really good fun.
Oh, no. Come on.
Oh yes, but yes, absolute fun, that one. And then we move into our main event, which was the World Heavyweight Champion Gunther taking on CM Punk in our main event. And I'm going to be honest, I was kind of out of it from this event. It was a weird match that only kind of picked up at the very end, and then picked up because of the clear thing that happened afterwards.
In an attempt to help get through this match quickly.
Yes.
And Matty, I'll let you say your thought first, because my thought will be very concise and to the point, but I also feel it's going to be a complete dichotomy from what you two are going to say.
Oh, Jeremy, you know me too well. I was going to say, at least CM Punk, he's a member of the Fantastic Four, and it is indeed clobbering time.
Up the four, da 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 da. Fantastic Four, da 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 da.
So I think I am very much, but I did love that Fantastic Four entrance, just to acknowledge that properly.
It's great
I think I am very much in the minority that, for whatever reason, I really enjoyed this match. Partly because I love seeing Gunther just muller people. And I've not seen it for a while, so I was just happy to see someone getting mullered. It just happened to be CM Punk.
Do you know that who wasn't happy with this match and has given him a fern bollocking? Bret Hart.
That was weird. I saw that.
Bret Hart does not like people hitting each other for realsies. You got to be safe in the ring.
I mean, to be fair, if anyone can talk about that, it's him. To be fair, But yeah, like I will. If anyone says they found it long and dull and boring, I can totally understand. I was into it, but realistically, the only thing that really mattered was the last 5 minutes after Punk had basically been beaten down senseless for 25 minutes. I will readily acknowledge that. I will say, in hindsight, Punk did seem very tired. Like, very tired. So, I don't know if anything has come out after the fact, but he, but yeah, and ultimately what it came down to, which was an interesting twist on proceedings, was the fact that Gunther decided to showboat, and it literally cost him. Because then he got a busted nose and he didn't know how to, in essence, cope with it. And then Punk capitalized on that, somehow managing to hit 2 GTSs and getting the win. And it's like, oh, okay. Yay, Punk's champ. Yay. And then we got the moment. We saw the tears beginning. And he was really into it. And do you know what? If that was going to be it, I thought, right, excellent night one. Well, yeah, because we had so much fun. But like, excellent night one. I've had a great time watching this. Awesome stuff. But then, Dekker, I'll give it to you.
I mean, I think it has one of the best sort of slow zoom ins of, oh, for fuck's sake. Because Punk's celebrating, he's tired, he's on, yes, I'm world champion. And then you hear, burn it down. And you just watch his face just go.
It didn't fool us. We knew this was going to be a cash in. Come on, we all knew it.
Yes. So I will say the way they played it was very well done. Now, admit, if you're in the stadium, you wouldn't have seen squat about this. But the fact that what you could pick up on the microphone was Seth going, hang on to that because you're not going to have it long. When I'm back, I'm coming for you. And then he turned around on his crutches. Then he stopped. Then he threw the crutches down. Then he turned around, took off the brace, and started strutting like he knew what was about to happen next. And then he quickly beat down Punk mercilessly, both with and without briefcase, cashed in and got the belt. And I was wondering what the catchphrase was going to be. And this time they went with the ruse of the century.
I think it would have been a lot more shocking if they really were good at keeping the fact that he wasn't injured or had a lighter injured kind of hidden, because it all seemed a bit off after the Saturday night's main event thing. Obviously, he looked injured, he seemed injured, and I won, all that sort of stuff. And then you get these sort of things of, well, they were going to do an injury angle on this show, don't you know? And it's like, oh, okay. Because it's like, I liked the cash-in. I thought the cash-in was done very well. And I like that big dramatic moment of the crutches down, the knee braces off, grabs the case, starts sprinting, all that stuff. Love it. I really do. But it's just, maybe they could have done that a little bit long. I don't know if it would have benefited from a longer break rather than like a couple of weeks. It kind of, because to me, the thing that just kind of felt a bit weird is like, it makes LA Knight's win over him at Saturday night's main event a bit silly.
Oh,
despite the fact he got a title shot on Raw on the Monday.
Did he though?
Did he?
No, it was a DQ finish.
I will say, because Harriet's actually mentioned it in the chat, that Drew's reign as champion lasted longer than Punk's from last year. And I think we were mentioning it in our call at the time that it's almost the perfect full circle moment in that Punk was the one who was a bit of a dick last year when it came to the stats of the title, and it's literally come back full circle on him, just with different people involved.
I would love to have McIntyre versus Punk again. Legit, I do. It was fun last time, and just like literally out bitch each other, you know. But just so you know, because I'm looking at the list of times that each match took. First match, 21 minutes, 10 seconds. Second match, 13 minutes, 30 seconds. Then 8 minutes, 10 seconds. 7 minutes, 5 seconds. 17 minutes, 10 seconds. 30 minutes, 20 seconds. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk, 10 seconds. Make that what you will.
But I think Natalia has the Guinness World Record for losing in the fastest amount of time. So it's definitely not the fastest match in WWE.
Not all records are meant to be broken, Dekker Dane.
I know. Yet. I mean, it feels right for Rollins to have the belt. The faction's good. I mean, it's now officially known as, I think, the Vision, which is it's a good little faction.
Hang on, had they not named this faction before?
No.
Before now?
No. And I thought they were going to go with the Future, because I think the Future was a good name as well. But the Vision's fine because it plays off. Though Visionaries Knights of the Realm would have been much better.
So Peter Siddons come up with a couple of points. Citation needed, but he said it was Beth Phoenix who lost in 3 seconds, holds the title of longest reign. But also he said it was a great angle, but was it worth lying to the whole roster about his injury? And here's the thing as well, like it was a good moment, but we don't work for that company, do we? So at what point do you like to lie to your team, as it were? Or because I've been thinking about this, people talk to the dirt sheets all the time, and these are people on all companies that work for said companies, and I would argue, yes, I it's scummy, it's gross, but it kept everyone speculating rather than, oh no, this is a work, expect this. Because then us as viewers, it impacts us a lot more because we don't work for that company. But granted, morale could be like knocked a few pegs for like stunts like this.
One word, Matty: engagement.
There we go.
Which, not to make us go on a dwelling topic here, but with regard to the thing we talked about at the very top of the show, unfortunately, it's got everyone talking, hasn't it? So
exactly,
yeah.
I did like some of the behind the scenes videos of the actual cashing. Becky's one's quite funny of her just going, I'm sorry. Was I lying to you people? Was I misleading you? Just quickly, I've just looked up the fastest loss in WWE in a women's match is 3.17 seconds, held by Aaliyah because she defeated Natalia in a record-breaking time in SmackDown in 2022.
There we go. Hence why I said citation needed. So yes, sorry, Peter Siddon, but we needed to double check that.
No worries. But yes, that was night one in a nutshell. Night one in an
hour-long nutshell.
In an Arctic roll nutshell. I mean, 15 minutes was talking about Brock.
Exactly.
But yes, let's move over straight to night 2, and we started off with an absolute banger because it was Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky versus Naomi for the Women's World Heavyweight Championship. And just like the opening match of WrestleMania Night 2, this was a lot of fun.
Oh, it sure was. I enjoyed every moment of this.
Naomi coming out down to the ring with her dad playing on guitar. Excellent entrance.
And then she fired him because he was doing backstage photos with Io and Rhea.
Can I also say that I love Naomi's little motorized suitcase that she travels around on backstage in videos now. It's amazing. She just kind of puts along and goes, proceed with caution.
Like, seriously, Jeremy, I know you don't really look, but on Instagram, Naomi is a freaking goddess on social media.
Oh, I bet, genuinely. But this match, though, really, really good fun. This was an excellent way to start night 2, and you could tell everyone was pumped for it as well. This was in a way like a championship Sunday type thing, because so many of the matches were title matches, but this got everyone really into it. Everyone was so engaged. There was great action. There were some ridiculous moments in it as well, a couple of which I'm actually drawing a blank on, but some stuff happened on the outside, which was really creative and good fun. And just overall, I was happy whoever was going to win this. I didn't see it being anyone other than Naomi, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want her to keep hold of that championship for a little while. Because at the end of the day, and this continued on to Raw, Io continues to be Rhea's white whale, and I love this little aspect. I don't want it to be a constant. I want it to be forgotten for a little bit, and then brought back again. I don't think that's what WWE is going to do. I think they're going to drive this into the ground. one of the best aspects for this was before that happened, we had to be reminded, oh yeah, Rhea has never, ever beaten Io ever, not alone, let alone for a title. Matches in general has never defeated Io. And so I love this to just go on as a little back burner thing. I'll say this in the last 2 reviews as well, where like no matter what she does, she just cannot beat Io. And just let it just simmer rather than be in your face all the time.
I think there was a really good kind of element to the match of basically once Sky and Rhea took out Naomi for a bit, they were kind of like the respectful, okay, let's get back into our long waging feud, our long battle in this sense. But I sense we might be approaching a point where they may establish a babyface heel dynamic because Io is really pushing Rhea's buttons, I guess, on saying you're never going to beat me on Raw and stuff like that. So I feel like it's going to possibly go into another level of rivalry at some point. They're just waiting for the right sort of moment to jump off on it.
Absolutely.
When in Paris.
Well, in Paris, it will be Naomi versus Stephanie Vaquer. Or will it? Because Naomi's got a title defense against Io Sky next week on Raw.
Hey, I'm up for seeing Naomi and Stephanie Vaquer. In fairness, that sounds like a fun match.
Yes. I think it's good. I think the Raw Women's Championship picture at the moment is quite nice. It's quite good. It's evolving. It's changing, and obviously with new players like Vaquer coming in the fray, it's going to be quite good fun to watch.
And what were we saying earlier when it came to Tiffany and Jade, like evolving? You've just used the word there that I used as well to describe what hadn't really happened with those two. Things are evolving on that side of the coin. You just got to make it apply to everywhere.
Yeah. Next up, tables, ladders, chairs. Oh my, this
was nuts.
This was a 12-man, 16 battle for the WWE Tag Team Championship between the Wyatt Six. I need to remember these names. The Wyatt Six.
I've got them.
Fraxum. We're going Street Profits. Ray Phoenix and Andrade. DIY and the Motor Machine Guns. There we go. Got it. I got him. It's not like they've been fighting each other the last couple of weeks heavily.
This was I'm trying not to swear tonight, but this is utter batshit, this match.
I loved it. I really loved it. It's
so
one of the best TLCs in a long time, in that they didn't try and replicate what was done before by certain tag teams I'll bring up in a second. But the sheer madness of it more than made up, because also the people that weren't necessarily in the match but took part, like Candice LeRae, what a bloody trooper. What a bloody trooper.
She fell through the earth for this match almost.
She glitched into the ground like the cat occasionally does on Little Kitty Big City, you know? She just fell through the vectors. I will say as well, there was a little bit of speculation and innuendo about the possibility, because they work for TNA, of the Hardy Boys joining the match. And I did get a little bit excited. And then when it was obvious that didn't happen, I was, boo-boo. But that boo-boo didn't last long once the actual action hit, because my God, what a lot of action. So, yeah, we had Team 3D / the Dudley Boys at ringside and the Hardy Boys, because I think, what is it, like the 25th anniversary?
Yep, Summerslam 2000.
Something like that. Yeah. Of course, there was another tag team that was absent here because, you know, they're
currently finding themselves.
I am, of course, talking about the Hurricane and Kane, you know, well-known tag team that fought in a TLC. I can't think of anybody else right now. But yes, I loved the absolute. I can't even go on about what actually happened in the match because there's so much.
There's just some mental spots. It's the numerous corner table spots from the ring posts. You have Ray Phoenix diving out, like doing a frog splash over like the turnbuckle to kind of smash someone through a table. You've got the Spanish fly from Axiom on Dawkins for a table, almost flying well into the audience.
One after the other, just kept going. I will say, I think my favorite spot of the entire match, and it's a really minuscule one, but I've never seen it done before. It was actually involving Andrade and Rey Fenix, when I think it was Andrade effectively gave like a lift up to Rey, and he leapt up and almost grabbed the belts, and it was just that moment where everyone collectively went, "Ah!" It was so good.
Ciampa at one point where somebody went to do the Edge spear. Oh yeah, he was in one of those, wasn't he? The Edge spear from the top of the thing
from Mania 17,
and Ciampa just dodged dodged it by lifting his legs up and hanging upside down from pure arm strength alone up on the blinking coat hanger thing.
They have to add that to a 2K game as a way of avoiding things, please.
Oh, absolutely. There's a few things from this match they could add into the game,
right?
Actually. Yeah.
Oh, there was sunset flip power bombs on ladders. Ladders were getting broken. Yes, Candice LeRae fell through a ladder and through the earth as well. All that sort of stuff. It's
the local B&Q must have done great business on tables, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Peter agrees with me in the chat. I mean, we've got a couple of things here. Peter saying, how did Candice not break her leg on that fall? Yeah, right. We first thought she had. And then Harriet simply says, how is Candice still alive? Because she glitched through the Matrix like the cat from Little Kitty Big City. I think we've established that.
You know what was a fun moment relating to that as well? I say fun in the context of the match, but it was after that had happened, you could see Johnny Gargano just looking, having that look of, please tell me my wife's alive, please. And then you could tell he got confirmation at that point, went, cheers, love, and then started running up the ladder. Big thumbs up and started running.
So on social media, there was a lot of ribbing to Johnny about, well, you slept on the sofa last night. And he said, no, actually, we were in a hotel. There was no sofa.
So the floor.
Absolutely the floor.
Oh, God, that was great. But I mean, from my point of view as well, like seeing all these tag teams, like the tag team division's in great shape. I have heard a lot about Fraxium. Like in the odd thing I kind of see or hear, I keep seeing the odd person mention like Fraxium are really freaking good. And holy heck, Fraxium are so good.
So for a tag team that was a makeshift tag team because they didn't know what to do with Axiom and they didn't know what to do with Nathan Frazier. Like, they have come on in leaps and bounds. They were the highlight of the NXT tag team division for a good while, to the point where they were seriously going to contend with them being TNA tag champions at one point because they were that over. They're incredible. Like, one thing I can't get behind, I can't forget, is the fact that how much Nathan Frazier sounds like Adam Pacitti. We're getting in there, boys, and we're going to go and have roughed up that stuff. You know,
it's like, hang on, lads. I can go really fast in the ring. Okay, Nathan. Zoom. Oh, no.
I'm going to go and jump over the top rope.
Putting this out, folks, I can't contribute to this because I've no context at all. Sorry.
Also, storyline waiting to be explored. Nathan Frazier is trained by Seth Rollins.
Wow.
Absolutely. The vision is clear.
The vision is
Bron
clear.
Breakker and Bronson Reed versus Fraxium in a battle of who will catch who first.
I actually, side tangent, some of Fraxium's best matches in NXT were against Bron Breakker and Baron Corbin.
That sounds such good fun.
They were, and yeah.
It's quite good dynamics because, of course, Corbin and Breakker, fantastic chemistry, by the way, from those two. Yeah. That's one of the things I genuinely miss about like Corbin not being in that company now. But the dynamic between them as well just worked so well because you had the high flyers in Fraxium, and then I think, what were they called? The Dogs of War or something?
The Wolf Dogs.
The Wolf Dogs.
Yeah, because there's a great if you find the promo where Bron's trying to pitch the ideas to Corbin. It's like, I've been thinking about this in the shower. It's like, no, Bron, that's not what you say when you're trying to pitch a name.
But yeah, so just to finish my thought, like the high flying style of Fraxium, and then the hard hitting, like pure powerhouses that were those two, like they were they just worked so well. Anyway,
but yes,
excellent match. Even if it was a stunt show, as was said a few moments ago in chat. But
after all that carnage, the Wild Six retained strength in numbers. All that sort of stuff. And yes, probably more carnage between the tag teams as the weeks go on. So I'm for it. I think everyone's for it. So yeah, that division's in a really good
This division must continue.
I would say that retaining titles was definitely a theme throughout this entire night, which only stacked up against the end result of the main event. Because as soon as you knew that everyone was retaining their titles, slight spoilers for the next couple of review matches. I felt that the end was in sight because otherwise you have a card in which there was like no genuine change. So anyway.
Next match is the no DQ, no countouts finish match for the Women's Intercontinental Championship between the man, Becky Lynch, the champion, against Lyra Valkyria. And if Lyra lost, she could never challenge the belt as long as Becky was the champion. Yeah, I mean, again, another continuation of their rivalry. It's been a really good rivalry. I think it's been one of the highlights of the year for the company, to be perfectly honest. And yes, a bit of a drawn out brutal match in terms of just what weapons can we find and hit each other with, and zip ties. But no,
they don't work.
They don't work. Yes, there's that as well. Which really is like, oh no, they're broken. Quick, put them back on. Quick, put them back on. They won't know. All that sort of stuff. Yeah,
this went 10 minutes longer than the TLC match.
How long did this match go? Because I felt it went on.
Apparently, went 25 minutes.
25 minutes and 5 seconds. Those 5 seconds make all the difference.
Okay, that definitely felt it. I liked the match. I liked the match. I liked the fact that they had escalated their feud to the point where they were bringing out crowbars, chairs, tables, that sort of stuff, steel chains and all that. But it's just like, did it really need to be that long?
There were some very innovative things in this, and like the idea, I'll let you get in a second, Matty, sorry.
No, it's fine. Carry on.
I really like the idea of using the cable tie to being a reason why Lyra couldn't do very much. The problem was, I'm pretty sure it came out from she came loose from it and visibly put her hands back in a good couple of times. Just tie up a little bit more. But one of my favorite moments of the match, I don't remember exactly when it was, I think it was towards the crescendo of it, was Lyra was kind of somehow half inside a chair, sort of thing. And then Becky sort of did like a giant kick to it and managed to make her be more inside the chair. And it looked brutal as hell. But there were lots of fun moments in this match. It just didn't need to be 25 minutes. This is the analogy I'll make. How a lot of people felt about the Punk match in terms of it being way too long and stuff. This is how I felt about this match, but I did really enjoy the creativity.
Oh, if you want to talk about long matches, the main event here is 37 minutes and 45 seconds.
Different kettle of fish, but we'll get there. Don't you worry about that. But that said, though, obviously the match did not end simply. And Matty, I'll let you get some words in.
No, you literally said everything I was about to say there. I mean, one thing is definitely there was a little bit of the untouchables about this as well. Like at one point, Becky brought out a kendo stick, and so Lyra brought out a long ass crowbar. It's like, how are you gonna? They'll get a dagger on you. You bring like a machete. They bring a pistol on you. You bring a shotgun. They bring a whatever it is, you bring a blinking cannon. And there was a little bit of this going on here. And you could feel it when Lyra struck the metal stairway and the reverb then hit her in the traveled through her arms. You could really feel that.
Credit to my buddy who mentioned this to me, as it was. But he said, oh yeah, well, Lyra has a crowbar because she's a bird.
Oh, for God's sake. Was your friend Pop Blinking Sean Dunn?
No, someone who you folks don't know, but they casually watch wrestling. They said that, I just went, fair play, mate, fair play.
Downside, she didn't dress up as a bird for the entrance. We didn't have we had at least one woo, and then Wade Barrett told Michael Cole off.
I did laugh at that.
It's like, Michael, don't do cooing.
I'm surprised at no point somebody brought out a cuttlefish for this match. Come on, I'll force feed it down you.
So, genuine question, because I feel I've missed a big point here. Why was Bayley involved?
So this has been like a bit of a continuation from Mania Night 2, where basically Becky is the one who made sure that Bayley...
There was the mystery tag partner, right? Okay,
Yes,
right,
yes.
yeah, okay.
So Becky was mystery tag partner because she took out Bayley. That becomes apparent after Becky turns heel the night after WrestleMania, after they lose tag team belts, all this sort of stuff. And then it has mostly been a weird triangle of going after the Intercontinental belt, and it's just kind of escalated in the last couple of months because Bayley's remerged and she wants the belt as well, but obviously she's having a war with Lyra as well. She beat Lyra. Lyra beat her to get the title opportunity at SummerSlam. So Bayley still has beef with Becky because of the injury side of things. So obviously Bayley was getting involved in this match, but unfortunately cost Valkyria the match with the steel chain.
And also dotted out throughout all of the entire three-way feud with one another, they were dotting out a sprinkling of potential heel turns for both Bayley and Lyra, because both of them did pretty heelish things towards one another throughout this whole thing as well. To which we still don't know who would make the ultimate turn. It will be said that on Raw, they did I just don't want to deal with you. Like Lyra just doesn't want to deal with Becky whatsoever, which means that the feud must continue, and at some point Lyra will probably beat the shit out of Bayley. Or this is legit it now. They're just going to move Lyra out of the whole situation altogether, and it will be Bayley versus Becky.
Yeah, I think you can put Lyra into position now for World Championship programs. I think she's done enough to prove that she could probably well hang with top of the card as well. I think she's had a really good sort of run in the Intercontinental Women's Championship feuds. So I think she's ready to kind of, even if it's a losing effort, at least she's earned the chance to have a bigger stage there. But in terms of little things, Becky Lynch has a new theme.
Yes,
I really like it.
I like it. I like it.
It's by the Wonder Years, if I remember correctly. It's like, good choice. Good choice.
And it did stick around because it was on Raw the next night.
Yeah,
It wasn't a Rock Method Man situation where he used it once and went never again.
Never again. I do like the way the entrance starts, where obviously you have these all highlights of Becky, and then it just finishes her with like her holding the belt like that, and then she just charges out from the walkway as the steam goes off, and I think that was really kind of cool. I like it. I like it. I think it'll do quite well. But for Lynch, sorry.
What? Sorry, I know I'm interrupting, but there's a point I want to make as well, and it comes from a work rate point of view. People tell you to go and look at wrestlers' feet whenever you want to see, hey, that guy's an incredible wrestler because of their footwork. Go look at any match with Lyra Valkyria and watch her facial expressions, because she lives the gimmick all the way through that. She's very dynamic. One of the most expressive wrestlers out there. Anyway, sorry, Dane, you were going to say.
No worries. I was just going to say, in terms of the Women's Intercontinental Championship, it looks like Becky's on a collision course with Nikki Bella, because they had quite the promo battle on Monday, which got interesting. With some real truths.
Call me when it's over.
I'm sure.
As in when it's done, not when it's popular. I mean when it's done. Like
They seem to be presenting Nikki Bella as the mum of the women's division at the moment. And I always think, no, that's Natalia.
I did hear there was a line that was said or something, which seemingly got everyone talking and made everyone go, oh!
So the thing that started out at the start of Raw on Monday was basically Seth, when he was celebrating he won the belts, going, and there was only two people I trust, my amazing, beautiful Intercontinental Championship wife and my oracle Paul Heyman. And then Becky during her promo, so it's like I was like me and my sexy husband, the world champion. We're the best power couple here in WWE. I mean, you could have been it, but oh no, you can't see him anymore. and people in the audience were just simply going, "What the fuck did happen?"
Also point out that Becky and Seth's daughter was in on the conspiracy as well, and ergo is one of the biggest heels out there.
Amazing.
I think, and also Natalia did also step up to Becky in a backstage ring. So I think there's some other competitors being lined up, but I think it's going to probably be Becky and Nikki in Paris. and Becky will probably retain. It's just it'll be a by numbers feud, but so that promo was just like, huh. And they also draw on the fact it's like, oh, I'm really good in films at the moment. I'm one of the featured players in Happy Gilmore 2. Oh no, Nikki Bella, you were also in that film as well, but your role got cut down. She was. She played a character called Medusa for some reason. I watched Happy Gilmore 2 when it launched, and it's like it's fine. If you liked the first one, you'll be fine with it. I didn't mind it, but it was just so funny to see Becky as angry golfer.
Yeah. Harriet said that she honestly loved that from Becky, and that Harriet was probably one of the few who did. I went, no, I like a little bit of sass. But that's what it really needed, was a nice bit of sass. And no, I'm in full agreement with you, Harry.
But was it a planned line? Will there be controversy over it?
Probably it was fine, because not everyone can behave like an unprofessional boo-boo meister.
You tamed your words so much, Matt. I'm so proud of you.
I'm learning. I'm evolving as a human being, Jeremy.
Much like the women's division.
Next is a steel cage for the United States Championship. We had Jacob Fatu challenging Solo Sikoa and his MFTs, or his my family Tongans.
Oh,
I don't know what it is. It's convoluted.
Fungible token.
I'm going to jump right in and say this was the worst match of the night.
Yeah, I would agree. This was kind of this was a dud, considering the decent stuff they did with the feud building.
Yep. Considering the fact the whole point of it being a steel cage was to keep everyone out and just keep contained Jacob and Solo, and we didn't get that, and it felt very, very overbooked and stupid.
You mean like a Roman Reigns match from a while ago, where no matter what happened,
the story.
What? What just happened?
No.
What did I just unlock?
Jeremy, the story must continue.
The story's important here. The story's important for Roman. Not here, though, but the story for Roman is.
But sometimes you get a bit of Tipex and you rub out Roman Reigns and you add Jacob, Fatu. That's what you do. That's how sometimes you copy people's notes. Yeah, that's what happens. This is the moment in which this is Harriet. Harriet, be a broken mess right now. This is our attempt to just break Jeremy. Hello, Jeremy.
Why are we whispering?
Throw the ones up.
No.
We have
That shouldn't have been that funny, but fair play. So that match was a dud.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, it was slow. It started off slow. Started picking up. Down come the MFTs, and Tala, Tonga, Hikuleo managed to somehow help Solo win the end. But then Jacob decided, oh no, I'll just do a flip off the top of the cage and it will be fine.
Can I ask a question?
Go on.
About the My Fungible tokens.
Go on.
Where is Tama Tonga?
I think he might be still being injured.
Oh, okay, that makes sense, right?
Yeah. Literally, they've had to do a bit of a revolving door because, like, one guy got injured, so they replaced him with, I think, JC Mateo. Then another guy got injured, so they brought back Tama Tonga. And it's just been a constant spill of revolving doors of bringing people in. Also, Tala Tonga, Tama Tonga, Tonga. It's confusing.
Tama, Tala, and Tonga. It's fine.
Call them Hikuleo.
The triple T's. There you go.
Oh.
I
just realised what MFT could actually stand for, and I'm not going to repeat it.
I thought that's what it meant in the first place.
What, the motherfucking Tongans?
Those.
I mean, that's far better, to be fair.
Those mother fudging. That doesn't work.
We are an hour and 30 minutes in. It's okay for me to swear on YouTube.
It's fine. We're not monetized yet. Fine. Anyway, we'll just move straight on. It's we'll see how it goes. But it's like it feels like it's starting to get stale. This feud between Jacob and Solo.
Ian, you better fit in where you sit in. Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean.
You know what I mean, right? Yeah. You got to fit in where you're sitting, or something like that.
I'm sat in a chair, so I'm already sat down, so I'm okay.
I'm glad you are. You see, I'm glad you filled in what I was actually implying there, because it was something like that. His interviews, his promos, exactly the same one over and over again.
I mean, I've been trying to do that. Yeah, what I mean is I can't really do that. You all what yellow? What I mean,
Jeremy, we're talking right. Okay, Jeremy is like questioning us. So basically, Jacob Fatu says basically the exact same promo every single SmackDown. It's becoming a bit of a meme now. Like literally, he'll do it where he'll turn to someone. He says, "You better fit in where you sit in." Yeah.
It's all
So he
gas.
has a catchphrase.
No breaks.
No. Oh yes, no breaks. All gas, no breaks.
Coast to coast.
Oh, I love Jacob Fatu. He's better than this.
What I mean. I can't do it for the life of me. I'm going to stop. But let's talk about the quest of one AJ Styles to become an Intercontinental Champion against Dominic Mysterio, because the build for this feud has been quite fun. AJ Styles, master of disguise. He can be a doctor. He can be a janitor. He can be a valet, or he can also do a really good homage to Eddie Guerrero as well. So yes, this is the penultimate match.
He can't do the pose.
He can't do the pose, but he can drive the lowrider. Yes,
were phenomenal.
Brightly coloured as well. Bright coloured. You can't go wrong with that. But yes, AJ Styles versus Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. A fun little match. It wasn't anything amazing. It wasn't uber amazing, but there were nice character moments and homages to Eddie Guerrero that I liked, including I hit someone with he hit me with a chair. No, he didn't. He put it around my head.
It's fun seeing that stuff. In this weird context as well, where like Dominic on the anniversary of like the custody battle match.
Yes,
there's so many layers to this that shouldn't be there.
Can we point out that I think this is what Dana was about to say actually, but can we point out that in the lowrider there was a guy dressed like Dominic, all grown up, but as he was as a child like 20 years ago.
That's AJ's son.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Apparently, reportedly, that was AJ Styles' own son.
I retract the rando notion then, but still.
It was so weird, but I liked it.
It was a fun match. The crowd, I will say, I think this is aside from the spectacle that was the TLC, I think this is the most actively into to this point that the crowd have been into a match this evening specifically so far.
This is a match that knew the position it was in, and it was a nice little filler moment with some genuinely funny and fun spots throughout it. I don't think it was ever going to be the work rate bout that people were expecting from AJ Styles. I think we were there to be thoroughly sports entertained, and it serviced that pretty much more or less, considering the match we were about to have after this.
Yeah, so Mysterio survived, managed to sneakily get his boot off. AJ gets confused, gets promptly a boot in the face, and a pin.
I mean, you say sneakily got the boot off. It seemed like the boot got stuck on his foot, to be fair. But at one point, AJ's trying to yank it off.
and
stop it, Matty. I saw that look.
I was going to say a literal heel turn as he tried to pull the boot
off.
Oh,
look at you.
Get out. Get out.
What was worse, that or crowbar?
I feel I got competition. I must defeat this man.
Got up
anyway, carry on.
Anyway, but no, also a nice. It's nice to see Dominic build on stuff as well, because Dominic's becoming a bit more of a central player in certain places, especially AAA. He could be a mega champion by the end of the month, which would be even surreal.
I can't wait, guys. I can't wait.
Genuine question: is he meant to be face or heel at this point?
I think he's technically a heel, but the crowd genuinely like him now, so it's like he gets cheers.
Do you know who's a babyface in AAA right now? El Grande Americano. What the hell?
And El Grande's got his El Grande A and El Grande B, which is definitely not which is definitely not the trio combination of Ludwig Kaiser, Pete Dunne, and Tyler Bate.
What?
We don't know, Jeremy. We're in as much in the dark as you are. We don't know what we're watching. We don't know what we're
I just heard.
So you know Chad Gable's masked wrestler gimmick at the moment, El Grande Americano,
the one that everyone was hating to a point.
So Chad's off injured. So
shit, I didn't know that.
So Ludwig Kaiser has turned up as El Grande Americano now.
Amazing.
Got himself incredibly over with the AAA fans as well, in big sing-songs. And he's now being accompanied by other people in Americano masks. And they are very clearly Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, who have been off for a little bit as well. So
basically Team Europe is now El Grande Americano.
There is a bit of continuity to this, though, because Chad Gable, Pete Dunne, I don't think so much for Tyler Bate, but Tyler Bate will go everywhere Pete Dunne goes anyway. They all got defeated by Penta in his first few matches, and so all have a genuine grievance against Luchas. So they don't tell you that, but that's what I feel is happening here.
I have no words.
But it's fascinating to watch unfold, even if it's madness. Anyway, we move on to the main event. It is for the now WWE Championship. It is defending champion John Cena, the never seen 17 real John Cena, against plucky babyface Cody Rhodes. So this is preceded initially by this weird promo the last couple of promos on SmackDown between Rhodes and Cena has been a bit weird. So in the eventual match that set up the fact that this was a street fight, John Cena just basically said, I can't really do this match, Cody. I'm filming a big film for Netflix. I'm not in the mental capacity to do this match. And Cody beat the shit out of him and made him and faked his signature and made sure it was a street fight. And then the following week, or the night or the Friday before SummerSlam, Cena just goes, you know what? You've made me see the error of my ways. I'm going to be the real John Cena now. I tried to be evil because two people who are no longer here told me it was a cool idea. That clearly being Dwayne Johnson and Travis Scott. And Cena just went, I'm a face now. Okay. And here we are.
One other caveat on top of that. The last few weeks, we've been having a growing amount of dissent from the crowd towards AJ Styles, and this came up to the boil at the opening starts of the match, where no matter Cody, where no matter what Cody did all the same spiel, the chorus of boos raining down on Cody this whole time. It's like we're with him with the boo-boo face. I say boo-boo a lot today. I'm sorry. Where he's looking around the audience. It really felt to me like his latter end of AEW, where it was obvious he was rattled by the audience around him, because at the end of the day, Cody just wants to be loved. And he wasn't clearly getting loved here. And Cody does a few things here which makes you think, double turn? You know?
I was thinking that. I was thinking something big was happening, because it seemed because I thought on that promo on Friday, I thought what was going to happen is they share a bit and then Cody still beats the shit out of him to show that he's not going to hesitate anymore, which would make sense from a storyline continuity, because that's how he lost the belt, because he was hesitant to use it, all that sort of stuff. But no, it's just like, okay, John Cena no longer has the dark, just the John Cena word. It went back to the bright, colorful. The last time is now Tor stuff.
I will say they put this across very badly on SummerSlam, because the promo package they showed beforehand, I was so confused of, wait, what happened? Like you've you seem to have glossed over a fairly significant point here.
Yes.
Like I saw Cody beat up John Cena and then sign it. And then suddenly Cena says, "Oh yeah, I'm back to being me now." It's like, what? Were you like possessed or something? Do you have kryptonite stuck up your ass? What happened?
No, Jeremy. What you're describing there is literally how we watched in real time in the last few SmackDowns. So that is legit.
They've written out. They basically just they've thrown the book out. They brought in a fresh one. They've gone, nope, we're doing this how we want to now. If they're going to ditch us, we're ditching them.
Yeah.
But it's good because this match was fan-freaking-tastic.
Yes.
Oh yes. Really good match, and I think I've seen Harriet mention it in the chat. It's been the best match you've seen his retirement run.
Agreed. Because again, at no point during this whole entire match did John Cena wrestle like a heel.
No rest holds. It was straight into, well, it's a street fight. Let's start beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah, we had the standard John Cena STFUs, which he never puts on the guy's face, and there's always so much air between his hands and the guy's face.
But Matty, his biceps,
they're so big.
They can break through time and space.
Probably. It's John Cena. But
do.
This match to me, and I agree with what's been said so far, by the way, but this is the match, sans maybe all of the shenanigans involved, but and whatnot. But this is the match I wanted at WrestleMania. I wanted face John Cena versus face Cody, two giant generational level wrestlers coming together in effectively a dream match. This is the match I wanted. But then we got this match, and this match even exceeded what I thought we could get. Because like you said, John Cena was on another level. If anything, and I can't remember the exact phrasing of the quote, so forgive me, I should have looked this up beforehand. But there was once a quote from a sports person that said something to the effects of, I'm not as good as I was, but for one night, I can be that good. It was something to that effect. Like, for one night, I can pull it out the bag. And flipping heck, John Cena reached into that TARDIS-like bag and he found himself from like 20 years ago, because he was doing so much. You could also tell he was having fun doing it as well, by the way.
Yeah.
But I imagine he just sat in an ice bath for 2 days after, like because he put himself through so much. But this match, it was such a spectacle. It was a wonderful story. It was the dream match that I think I can say we collectively wanted earlier this year that we never got before the heel turn stuff. Much as we were into the heel turn stuff as a concept originally, I will add, we can't deny that. But this was just an incredible spectacle, such great fun. And when this match was all said and done, and I said this at the top of the show before what came after, which we're not going to dwell on too much, I don't think. But I genuinely thought, I actually really want to watch this now. Like, me having that break since WrestleMania and coming back for this, it almost feels like I could just pick up where I was and just carry on, because it's effectively been written out now. It's almost like those months didn't apply when it came to the John Cena stuff. And I loved this match. It was fantastic. I will go so far as to say it was excellent, because I was so into it. Everyone was into it. This was the lightning in the bottle moment that we wanted.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, Jeremy. There's not much I can really add to that. It may be recency bias, but I would say if you have a top 10 of John Cena matches, you'd stick this one on it. 37 minutes 45 seconds. It didn't feel that, because you're having such a good time watching it. It flew by. So
AAs, crossroads, AAs through tables, even a trip through the Cody elevator as well.
That was visual. Best visual of the night.
It's like, he's on my shoulders now. I've got him, guys.
Oh my lord.
Also, can we just appreciate John Cena carried Cody Rhodes down that ramp deep into this match, and when he got to that ring, you could tell he was like, I'm not doing that again. But he was proper trying to smile through it.
Me and Jay are massive comic book fans, and I would say if you would have an Alex Ross like color image moment. Him going up the Titan, the Cody Beta with the looking dead on. That's an Alex Ross moment right there. I would love to see that in painting form.
Yes, it was a really good match, and it's like, I think if we didn't have what happened after the bell rung, I think it would have been kind of like the really good, like, yes, I would have come out of SummerSlam. I would have come out feeling a little bit more kind of like, oh, cool, I'm excited for what's next for Cena in the last. I think he's got 12 dates left, 15 dates left now. So as we discussed, he's obviously on a collision course with Brock for Clash in Paris, and then it's the final charge, and it's still quite surreal that it's going to be ending soon.
Speculation is it'll probably be War Games or just shortly after that. It will be the last wrap up for John Cena.
Yeah, I'm going to call it now. His retirement match will either be in Boston, where he's from, or if it's worked out and some bright spark has planned it, they'll do it in the city he made his debut in against Kurt Angle, wherever that was. Because I forget off the top of my head. Like, you have those serendipitous moments. Literally.
Can we have a bit of a rewind? I've just realised something. You know that the other Americanos both have different masks.
Yes.
Team Grande. You've got Americano, and then you got his tag team like little minions, and that's Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Oh my God, we got the resurgence of Team Angle. I want to see this so badly.
I mean, look, remember what I said earlier about with the amount of time we've got left with John Cena, you want to use him to try and elevate some people who can really benefit from being involved in being around him. Those 3-4 folks would be perfect candidates, literally.
Question is, final match, does he go for a championship again, or is that it for him in belts?
He could go for a mid-card.
Bring back his United States Open challenge again for a while. That'd be fun.
Yeah, because that was one of his biggest things, was like the United States Invitational. So do that or the Intercontinental. I'd love to see him face Dom.
I see that's an example of who could probably benefit from beating John Cena and just continuously talking about it.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, I think this match was so damn good. This should literally be Cena's final title match. But literally, there is no other title match for him now. He's almost peaked. Oh, sorry, moved the microphone. He is peaked when it comes to being involved in a championship situation, and now it almost just needs to be a really fun end to the retirement tour, like going to all the various cities, maybe having some dream match scenarios. Again, there's so much they could do now. He's a babyface, and also we haven't actually mentioned it properly, but when he came out for his entrance and it started as black, like the whole black screen, and then it lit up, that place had no roof on it. If there had have been, it would have been in a nearby river. Like, it was so good.
So Peter Sidden in the chat has just said that he should go for the Intercontinental as he's never won that. And I thought, has he? And I've just done a quick check. That is the one accomplishment he's never done. He's never been an IC champ.
Ooh.
If that, you know what, then I retract my thoughts slightly and say, if he ends it with effectively becoming a Grand Slam champion, why not?
That's it. That's what
you can always do a nice little tournament to crown a new IC champion. Because he could do the Sting thing. He wins a belt, bows out, and then you just vacate it and you carry on.
Like Trish did as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we shall see. We shall see. Not long left on Mr. Cena's time in WWE. But I believe that is pretty much all the stuff on SummerSlam. Any further thoughts?
Oh, they've got... I'm starting to wilter towards the weekly programming. I won't lie. But their PLEs continue to be really, really good. I'm on the fence, guys. I will not lie. This bad feeling that this smattering of like a nice shitty filter that's been going through WWE this past week or two, I hope to God we do. I want to enjoy wrestling, and yeah, it's easy to say go off and enjoy the wrestling elsewhere, and there's a smorgasbord of wrestling. As we say here in BunkaMania, the wrestling never stops.
It is going on forever. It'll never be decided who has won the wrestling, but your best bet is here.
Is here. But the overall sentiment, and I think most of us all agreed here, is that we really struggled after SummerSlam, and it's a shit thing to say because for the most part we love SummerSlam both nights.
Yeah,
but WWE have got to do the one thing that AEW have been saying they've been doing for a while, and they need to bring back the feeling. And we started off on a high, and for whatever reason, it's literally there's a wilt coming, and it's from their own doing. So that's all I say.
The fact that we have got excited about various things that happened at SummerSlam, despite how that 2 nights that ended, ultimately, like the post-credit scene, if you will. The fact we got excited about pretty much everything before that, it demonstrates how genuinely good it is. And that's coming from someone that basically only watches AEW and Japanese stuff at this point. Just because that's all the time I really have to allow, but I try and watch some stuff here and there. And considering my previous thoughts on WWE stuff, I thoroughly enjoyed this. But that post-credit scene, if you will, that it's going to be very telling what they do or don't do coming soon.
It's how you leave them. We've said this before about AEW stuff when you've had a fantastic pay-per-view, but it's the end result that leaves you talking. This is all WWE have done nonstop is talk about Brock. And it's got to take SmackDown to really put it back now. So that's it. Having said that, Jeremy, we do have Triple Mania streaming to the West legally, like properly legally on the 16th. So I'm very much looking forward to that because you know what? Dominic Mysterio is going to become a world champion and I can't freaking wait.
Okay, here's an idea for you, right? Here's a stupid idea for you, and then I'll get back to you, Ian, I promise. What if Dom wins the Mega Belt and John Cena challenges him for it?
Yes!
In many ways, I don't want that to happen, but in some ways I do because it may just make various elements of the internet explode.
I mean, get Joe Hendry to win back the TNA Championship, and then John Cena challenges him. That would also break the internet.
Unlike TNA, we've had like AAA like title matches on weekly WWE main roster television. Now we've had the AAA tag champions defended. We had Psycho Clown and Mr. Iguana, Jeremy, on an episode of SmackDown. It's Mr. Iguana.
He's got an iguana, Jeremy.
To quote Ollie Davis, of course.
Yes. You and your iguanas.
Yes. But yes, I think it's time we should probably wrap up here on the show. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed our discussion on SummerSlam. Of course, plenty more wrestling content on the way very soon. If you'd like to find out our thoughts on WWE Unreal, myself and Harriet did review it over the weekend. That video is available now over on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@BunkaMania UK. If you're watching us over on the Twitch channel, if you want to find out where you get that video. But of course, we all do our own little streams as well. And let us turn to the internet's own MattyBoo. Matty.
I'm not going to be streaming this weekend because I'm away at some guy called the Dekker Dane's place. So I will not be doing a stream this weekend. However, I will probably be streaming tomorrow. It's going to be somewhat Transformers flavored for no apparent reason. No reason whatsoever, but I'll be watching some Transformers commercials and probably an episode of Transformers Robots in Disguise from 2001 as well. May play a video game. That's up in the air at the moment. However, I found out like today there's going to be a Nintendo Direct Indie Showcase tomorrow as well, which means I might do that to boot. So there may be 2 streams or maybe 1 mega stream. Who knows? I'll be streaming tomorrow anyway. I hope to see most of you there.
Thank you very much, Jeremy.
Hello. I tend to stream on Friday nights at about 7 p.m. UK time. Not this week though, because I'm actually I've got a prior engagement that I'm going to be doing. But should be back next week. I'll likely have Fel Floney with me. We shall wait and see. But if you want to see some fun stuff from the past few weeks, I've been doing card pack openings of Pokemon cards. It's been great fun, and I may or may not have already got a stack of stuff waiting for the next time I do a card opening stream. I will not comment any further on that. But yeah, if you enjoy my ramblings, I'm here on Bunker doing stuff. I mostly do AEW talk, and I will be going to Forbidden Door in, oh god, it's only a few weeks' time, isn't it? So yeah, I'll be going to Forbidden Door, and no doubt we'll end up doing some kind of discussion about that, and I'll be able to give some live in-person thoughts as to what happened there. So yes, catch you soon.
Thank you very much. And of course, I'm the Dekker Dane. You can catch me over on Twitch at the Dekker Dane. I'm on holiday at the moment. This is my last stream before a week and a bit break. I'm going to disconnect from streaming, from online for a little bit. I'm going to go off and do a little bit of writing, have a little bit of a nice relaxing time, and also go to TF Nation with Matty and Harriet and Stitcher over this weekend. But of course, when I stream back again, I'll be back on the 18th, and we'll be going into a Let's Play. I will be deciding what Let's Play it's going to be at the moment. I like something with a little bit of narrative, but I also like something with a little bit of action. So you'll find out what it is very, very soon. But your best bet is to hit the follow button over my Twitch channel so you can know when I go live next on the channel. And that is me done. And I think that is this episode done, talking about WWE SummerSlam. Thank you so much for watching. From me, the Dekker Dane, joined by Deuteraframy, Jeremy Graves, and the internet's own MattyBoo. We will see you guys very, very soon for some more BunkaMania. And remember, when in doubt, just throw up those ones.
Nah, mate.
Good night.